Friday, and instead of doing Fun Facts Friday, I'm going to talk about my Weight Watcher experience. And I voted. It's the last day for the primaries to early vote, and then Tuesday, the 2nd or whatever Tuesday is, 1st, whatever, it's going to be, I think it's next week. It's first Tuesday after the first Monday in March, whatever day that is. So anyway, I already voted because it's so long a lines if you vote on actual election day. So, yeah, in Texas, we actually check IDs, talk. Anyway, enough political commentary. I was going to tell you a little bit about Weight Watchers. I'm sure you all know what Weight Watchers is. It's a weight loss thing. It's been around 60 years probably. And they've changed their program a lot. It used to be like you had to count all these points. Everything had points, and you got a certain, depending on your age and your weight and your goal and all that, you got a certain amount of points, and you had to count everything. Then they changed it. Last time I went, like a couple years ago, they had like the blue plan, the green plan, and the purple plan. And depending on which plan you picked, some stuff was free foods, and you got a certain amount of points plus a certain amount of free foods. And now they have this personalized one where you go in and take this quiz about, likes and dislikes and what you want out of it and blah, blah, blah. And they give you a certain amount of points, plus you get to pick, I think it's 5 categories that don't count. I mean, obviously, like one of my categories I picked was starchy vegetables, like, because I like sweet potatoes and I think they're good for you. But obviously, I'm not going to eat like 5 sweet potatoes. I mean, they don't count as points, but you got to use some common sense and some portion control, or it's not going to work for you. So my free categories, if I can remember them, there was non-starchy vegetables, which is like green beans and asparagus and lettuce and all that kind of stuff. So I picked that one. I picked fruit. I picked the starchy vegetables, which is potatoes and mainly potatoes, sweet potatoes and potatoes. And then I picked brown rice and quinoa. But I picked that because the pasta that I eat has brown rice in it. So I was thinking I could get away with having it not count for points, but it still counts. And then I think that was, poultry. So it's like turkey and chicken and stuff like that's all free. And then like eggs are free. So like today, all I've had today was 0 points because I made some of these muffin cup thingies, and they have shredded potato in it, which is free. They have artichokes in it, which is free. And they have eggs in it, which is free. And I made those and I baked them, and then have a couple of them for breakfast, although it's 2 o'clock and I finally just ate. But, so sometimes I can have a free meal, and then sometimes, like, it's a lot of points. I get 17 points per day, and then you have these extra floaty points that are for the week. So I have 28 points. I can, like, if I'm going to go to a birthday party or whatever, I can take those 28 points and add them all on one day if I want. So far, I haven't used any of my extra points, like last week, my first week. But, and then they also have this thing where if you eat a cup of, like, the non-starchy vegetables, and I think if you exercise for a certain period of time, you can earn back extra points to, so you can eat more. If you exercise more, you can eat more. And they want you to track your water and your exercise and your sleep and all that kind of stuff. Haven't been doing the sleep thing because my sleep's terrible. I maybe get 5 hours a night, maybe 6 on a good night. So I haven't even been tracking it because it's not good. So that's basically the gist of it. It's a lot easier because I don't, I try not to eat a lot of points. And they also have an app that's got a scanner on it, so you can go to the grocery store or your pantry, whichever, and scan the barcode, and it'll tell you how many points it is, one serving is. Like, I was looking at protein bars, and I'm like, they're all like 5 or 6 points, and I'm like, I don't think I want to waste 5 or 6 points on a protein bar. So I didn't buy any. So it helps you make buying decisions. And then I was looking at these breakfast sandwich things, or breakfast egg cups or whatever, in case I'm too lazy to make my own, which are 0 points. And they had some that were like 6 and 7 points, and then I found some that were like an egg, 2 scrambled egg patties instead of buns, and then like sausage or something in between, turkey sausage or something, and they were only 4 points, and they were pretty big. So I'm like, well, I get those and throw them in the freezer, so if I haven't made any of my little 0 point ones. And then I also found, like, I like those Outshine fruit juice bars, but they're either 5 or 6 points. And then I found they have some, I buy the kind that are kind of shaped like this and bigger, and they're 5 or 6 points. And then I found some that are 1 point. They're the little, like just a pop thing, and sugar-free. So those are only 1 point. So I'm going to try those, see what I think. I may switch to those. I really love the other ones, but, I only have them at night because we eat dinner about 5:30, and I stay up till 12 or 1 o'clock, so I get kind of hungry somewhere in there because it's several hours, So I'll have one of those, and it's the way at the end of the day, so I'll know if I have the points to have it or not. But I plan kind of in my mind, I really want one of those tonight, so I got to leave 5 points, or I can always dip into that 28 weekly points. But I try not to do that. I think I did yesterday, but I usually try not to do it. So I don't usually eat breakfast, which I know is bad. But around 10, 11, 12, somewhere in there, I'll have like eggs or something. Eggs with veggies in it, or those little egg cups I made or whatever. And so my first meal of the day is 0 points. And then maybe around 2 o'clock, I'll eat something else. And then I save most of my points for whatever we're having for dinner. But like one night we had grilled chicken, free, sweet potato, free. I put like a little bit of that light butter on it, which was 1 or 2 points. 1 point, I think, because I didn't put very much. Because I think it's 2 points per tablespoon, but I didn't put a whole tablespoon on. And then I had some green beans free. So that was a dinner meal, but it was basically the whole meal was free. So you don't really have to. And the longer you do it, the more you kind of know what stuff is, and the less actual counting. I mean, you're still supposed to track it all. But as far as figuring out, like I know, I've only been doing this a week, and I know those fruit juice bars I like are 5 or 6 points, depending on the flavor. So you know that stuff the longer you do it, I'm sure. I did this about a year and a half ago. It was June 2019 to June 2020. And I did Weight Watchers in person until COVID and all that, and they quit doing it in person. And then I kept doing it, but I didn't just doing it myself. I didn't like the online thing. I wanted in person. So I lost 30 pounds like a year and a half ago, and I've basically kept it off. So I gave you my starting weight last week. So you want to know how much I lost? Huh? Do you? I lost, which is always happens the first week you go on a diet, because you lose a lot of water weight. I'll never lose this much again in 1 week, I don't think. Usually not. I lost 4.8 pounds. Now if I can just keep that off and lose a little more next week, that'd be great. So they give you this little welcome to personal points program, and it's got, how it works and some recipes and, like here's like take this and this and this and you get this, and it's how this many points, you know. So it gives you some ideas of like what to do with eggs, for instance, is what this page was. And then every week you get a recipe. This one was like bronzini and broccoli and squash baked together with some spices and stuff. I've never seen bronzini. I know it's a kind of a fish, but I've never seen it anywhere. But you could do it with salmon or whatever. I bought some more avocados because they're a little high in points. I think they're 1 or 2 points for a quarter of an avocado, which, you know, I'll eat more than a quarter. I'd eat at least a half. But I have this really good recipe that you bake salmon with a bunch of spices on it, and then while it's baking, you take an avocado, a tomato, and some onion, cut it all up together, kind of like a salsa almost. Add some lime juice, and then salt and pepper, and a little bit of garlic powder. And you have that on top of the fish, and it's all 0 points, and the fish is 0 points. Oh, that's the other category, fish. I forgot. I knew there was one more category I had forgotten. Fish is the other category that's 0 points. So I bought some more avocados to make that dish for lunches and stuff. So anyway, that's how my Weight Watchers week went. I thought you might like to know a little bit about how the program works now. A lot of you have probably been to Weight Watchers at one time or another in your life, and every few years they change it and improve it and try and make it easier so there's not as much counting involved. And so far, I lost 4.8 pounds. What's to not like? It hasn't been that hard to stick to. So my goal is to be overweight. to get out of the obese category and into the overweight category as far as BMIs are concerned. So I haven't been under 200 in 40 years, maybe. And let's see, what was I? Last week I was 225.6, I think. And I lost 4.8. So that puts me down to 221-ish, 222, somewhere in that range. I can't do the math in my head. So I'd like to that's my little small goals. That's what they have if you stay for the meeting, they have like a talk on some topic. And this particular topic was setting goals. And if you go in your first day at Weight Watchers and say, I need to lose 100 pounds or 50 pounds or whatever it is, you're like, oh, that's impossible. But if you go in, it's like, this month I want to lose 3 pounds or 4 pounds, or this week I want to lose 1 pound, or what, just a small little goal, then it's not so impossible. And you achieve that goal, and then it encourages you to achieve the next goal. It's like that with anything in life. You need to chop those big goals up into little bitty pieces, and you will do a lot better. So my next goal is to get into the teens, two teens, and then I'll have the goal to get into the two single digits, like 210 and below. And then the next goal would be to get under 200 and just take it, like, you know. So they were talking about, okay, in the next 3 months, how much do you think you could lose? What's your goal you want to do? And I'm thinking, I could do 10 or 12 pounds in 3 months. That's a pound a week. I should be able to do that. So that's going to be my goal in the next 3 months, lose 10 pounds. So we'll see how I do. I'll keep you posted. I'll come on. I may not do this long of a video because I wanted to explain the program a little bit, but I'll at least come on maybe before I do this on a Friday and tell you how I did. So is this something you're interested in? Would you like me to do more of it? You're like, don't even talk to me about weight loss. So let me know how you like this video, or if you'd like to hear more about it. And I've got another goal I don't want to do it. I just don't. I got to start exercising. at least take a walk once in a while. Right now it's too darn cold out. It hasn't got out of the 20s in 3 days, and it's not supposed to tonight or tomorrow. Well, maybe tomorrow's supposed to break 30 something, so at least it'll be a little better, but I'm not taking a walk when it's this darn cold out. When it heats up a little bit, like later on in the week coming up, it's supposed to be in the 70s. Crazy Texas weather. So, I mean, we live on a cul-de-sac, and maybe I'll just walk down the end of the cul-de-sac and back. My son and daughter-in-law, and they take all 3 dogs, and they do this loop that's like, I don't know, 1.5 miles, something like that. And I'm just like, that's too far for me right now. I'm just going to walk to the end of the court and back, and that's about 0.5 mile maybe. And that's a start. Or there's a treadmill upstairs. I could do 10 minutes on the treadmill every day. Or then the next week, 15 minutes. Or start with 5 minutes and go to 10, and then 15 or whatever. You know, just start small and increase my exercise. So that's my goal for this coming week. Well, this coming week's really busy. I know I keep putting it off, but maybe next week, not the first week of March, but the second week of March, maybe then the third week of March, I'm going on a retreat. So I will have no control over the food. It is what it is. They know what they serve, and I usually gain about 10 pounds because everything's really salty. And every time I go on this retreat, my ankles, and because we're sitting and working and not walking around that much, my ankles get like this big. So I'm going to take my diuretic with me, and I'm going to try and really watch what I eat. And if it's not too cold, they have a long driveway that's probably 1/3 of a mile maybe to the end, or maybe 1/4 of a mile to the end, out to the street and then back. So probably if I walk out to the street and back, it's maybe 1/2 mile. So I might try and do that during the retreat so I don't pack on the pounds. But anyway, they usually make me my own gluten-free desserts, but now they've got this new policy where if you want specialized gluten-free stuff, they charge you $25. And I'm like, well, I don't really need gluten-free desserts. If I decide I want something, I can make something myself and take it. So I'm going to try and avoid, and usually I can't eat the regular desserts. So if I don't bring anything and I tell them not to make me anything, then I won't have any desserts. Although usually somebody brings candy. You know, of our group, somebody will bring candy, so that's a temptation. Chocolate, you can't resist chocolate. But anyway, and then before you know it, it'll be Easter. I got my Cadbury cream egg fix already. I bought a 5-pack and ate them all before I started Weight Watchers. So I love Cadbury cream eggs, and I usually eat them over the whole Easter period because that's the only time of year you can get them. But I ate those 5 over a 2-week period, and I'm not going to buy any more because I don't know how many points they are, but they got to be a lot, you know. They're those creamy white and the like yellow and then white like an egg yolk, and then the nice yummy chocolate. Cadbury makes really good chocolate, so I'm not going to buy any more Cadbury cream eggs, that's for sure, because I would eat them all the time. Or jelly beans, not regular jelly beans, those are nasty, but Jelly Bellies. Love me some Jelly Bellies. So I'm not going to buy them either, although I might be tempted, like, check out Walmart the day after Easter and see what they have for 50% off. I might be tempted to do that, but I'll try not to. Anyway, enough chit-chatting. It's been 20 minutes, so let me know if you liked this, if you're interested. If I should do it every Friday, not this long, of course, but a little bit every Friday. You all have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe. Stay warm. Love y'all.